What is going on, guys? My name is Brett. Today's video I'm going to do a top 10 best catchers in Major League Baseball entering 2020. So this is a little tougher now because after the first 5 I was reaching already. So if you didn't know, catchers in Major League Baseball for fantasy baseball are really tough. You have to get at least the top 6. Drafting, you don't draft a catcher right away. You wait till someone else grabs a catcher because you have to get at least the top 6. But after that, it gets rough. Before you watch this video, write down your list of the top 10 catchers in fantasy baseball entering 2020. I'm gonna compare my list to yours. If you do enjoy this type of video, leave a like right into this list, and it's gonna be tough. It's not as easy as pitchers, but catchers are tough. And let's get started with this. So starting off with number 10, Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez did not play at all last year. He got Tommy John surgery. So as a catcher for Tommy John surgery, you never hear that. I mean, you did hear for Didi Gregorius with Tommy John. Usually, in most cases, it happens to pitchers. And usually when you get Tommy John surgery, you're done for 12 months. I believe it's like a time frame between 12 to 15 months. So as a catcher, I'm not entirely sure. if he's going to replicate the same numbers as he did for so long. He was all-star from 2013 to 2018 until he got hurt. And his last year was 2018 when he played 129 games. He hit 27 home runs, 80 RBIs, batting average 235, OPS plus 91, so technically he was below average. Is he going to replicate the same numbers as that when he got hurt with Tommy John? As a catcher, it might be a sneaky pick, but it could be risky. It could fall on your face. So it's not like he's going to be a top 5 catcher. He's going to be in the bottom half, but he could be a really good catcher, or he can just fall on your face. So number 10 is Salvador Perez. So number 9, Carson Kelly. Carson Kelly came out of nowhere. 2019, he had 18 home runs, 47 RBIs, 245 batting average, 112 OPS in 111 games. Before this, from 2016 to 2018, he did nothing. So when it comes to catchers, like I said, you have to get at least the top 6 unless you're going to be reaching. Because if you're stuck with Carson Kelly, you don't know what you're expecting. Are you expecting the same thing for 2019? Or is it going to be from 2016 to 2018? They're so difficult sometimes. You might be going from catcher to catcher. So Carson Kelly, number 9. So number 8, Omar Narvaez. So Omar, he's been in the league a little bit longer, and his averages are very good. So last year, he had a very good season. He played 132 games, 22 home runs, 55 RBIs, 278 batting average, 120 OPS. The reason why I put Omar in front of Kelly is because he's done this back-to-back years. His OPS plus is 120 and 119. His batting average 275 and 278. He just never had the chance to be the overall starter. I do expect him to be the starting catcher for the Seattle Mariners, unless they have some other catching prospect that I don't know of. So I do expect him to start more games. If you do have a category league and you need batting average for catchers, or needs like a little bit of power, you can pick up Omar. So number 7, Willson Ramos. So Willson Ramos is definitely a veteran. He's been in the league for 10 years. So last year, Willson Ramos played 141 games, 14 home runs, 73 RBIs, 288 batting average, OPS plus 107. That's his lowest OPS. So that is his lowest OPS plus in a while. I don't expect him to be on that level again. Like 107 is just a little above average, but you expect a high average from him. You expect a little bit of power from him. He's definitely offensive catcher, not defensive catcher, but this is fantasy baseball, so you don't have to worry about defensive stats unless you're playing in like a points league that's like -1 for errors or something like that. But you worry about the offense for fantasy baseball. And Willson Ramos, if he's there and you haven't picked up anybody else, you got to pick him up, because after that, it gets steep. You have to reach for catchers, like I said. So number 7, Willson Ramos. So number 6, Will Smith. Not the actor, the catcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Last year was his first season. In 54 games, he had 15 home runs, 42 RBIs, batted .253, OPS plus 134 for a catcher. Whoa, that's pretty high. The reason why I put him at 6 because he only played 54 games. He has no other experience in the major leagues, and I'm not really sure if I believe the hype, but if no one else is out there, you gotta pick up Will Smith. It's either Will Smith or Willson Ramos, and after that, it's like, good luck. But Will Smith, in his first 54 games, he pulled a Gary Sanchez, meaning he went off his first 50 games or so. So I'm not entirely sure, like I said, if I believe the hype. Is this going to be a fluke or a sophomore fluke, or if he's going to continue and replicate the same stats? So, number 6, Will Smith. So, starting the top 5, Mitch Garver. Mitch Garver went off last year. So, in 93 games, he hit 31 home runs, 67 RBIs, batting average 273, OPS plus 156. Yeah, 156 for a catcher for 93 games. I'm in disbelief. But the reason why I put him number 5, just the same thing as Will Smith. Do you believe the hype? This is going to be a fluke. This might happen again. If it does happen, he might be a top 3 catcher. If not, he's going to be a little lower. But you got to be a little bit more realistic. If he doesn't produce like this, if he's like 70% of these stats, he's still a good catcher. But he could be a top 3 catcher if he's continuing to produce this stats. But if not, he could be much lower than this. But as number 5, I'm going to put Mitch Garver. Number 4, Willson Contreras. Now you're starting to get into the safer picks. Safer picks as a catcher. Like, some of these catchers are very injury prone, such as Willson Contreras. Like last season, he missed about 20-30 games because he did get injured. I forgot how he got hurt. But last season, he played 105 games, hit 24 home runs, 64 RBIs, batted 272 or OPS plus 125. So he actually produced better numbers this season compared to last season, and he played about 30 games less. So Willson Contreras is getting better. He's more of a safety pick, and if he's there and no one else is there, pick him up. So number 4, Willson Contreras. So now it's starting to get a little tougher. Number 3, Yasmani Grandal. The reason why I put Yasmani Grandal ahead of Willson Contreras, he's going from the Brewers to the White Sox. And that division's so weak. You have the Tigers and the Royals. Their pitching staff is awful. So he might produce better numbers than last season. And last season, he did very good. In 153 games as a catcher in the National League. That's a lot. He had 28 home runs, 77 RBIs, batted 246, OPS plus 119. Yasmani Grandal has been in the league a long time. He is a safety pick. He could arguably be a top 2. I'm going to put him as top 3 just because he's going to an easier division. And like I said, Yasmani Grandal, number 3 catcher overall. So number 2, Gary Sanchez. If Gary can just stay healthy, he'll be the top catcher in baseball. I know his defense is a little shaky. He is getting better about that. But we're talking about fantasy baseball here. So offensive numbers. So in 106 games, he had 34 home runs, 77 RBIs, batted 232, OPS 119. If he just stays healthy for 3/4 of his season, he's going to do very well. Arguably, could be top 1. And he was the fastest player in Major League Baseball in the American League to hit 100 home runs. National League was Ryan Howard. Gary Sanchez in the American League, in the entire history of baseball, was the fastest player in the American League to hit 100 home runs. If he just stays healthy, just like 3/4 of the season, he's going to produce insane numbers. Number 2, Gary Sanchez. So your winner, JT Realmuto. Realmuto last year played 145 games, hit 25 home runs, drove in 83 RBIs, batted 275, OPS plus was a little low, 108. So overall, JT Realmuto is your best overall catcher. Offense and also defense. I believe his offense is going to improve a little bit more. I believe his offensive numbers are going to increase a little bit more. He's the only catcher that can steal bases for you. He's going to be more familiar with the pitching staff, facing the Mets, facing the Nationals, facing the Braves. Overall, he is the best catcher, but here's my tip. If you're still here, don't draft JT Realmuto, because there's other catchers out there between 2 to 7, and he's within, I believe, the 7th, 8th round. But last year, he was like the 5th or 6th round pick. I want to go that high for a catcher. You want to go from between the 6th, 7th, 8th round for a catcher, get between like the 2 to 7 range, because around that range for JT Realmuto, there's other players that you can get more valuable. Because as a catcher, they're only playing about 3/4 of the season, and usually they do have rest days. Some catchers do play first base. If they play in the American League, sometimes they do DH. But here's my tip right now: don't draft him unless you love JT, and pick someone else in that range. Wait for other people to start picking catchers. Let's say you pick like a shortstop, and all of a sudden someone picks JT Realmuto. That's when you start getting a catcher, because by the time you get your next pick, 3-4 catchers are probably gone by now. So that's my tip for fantasy baseball for the best catchers entering 2020. So let me know down in the comment section below, does my list compare to yours? If you do enjoy this type of video, leave a like. If you're new around here, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys. Thank you. Bye.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This is just for us now. I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. It feels right, it feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right. So right. I'm just going with the gut. Never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now.